Hi, my name is Ike Stranathan, and I'm the CEO of Staff Virtual, a business process outsourcing company here in the Philippines. And in this video, I would like to discuss why businesses are increasingly choosing Philippines over India as the outsourcing destination of choice. So in comparing two cultures, it's difficult. I'm going to have to generalize a little bit. I'm not putting down India at all. I've loved India. I have many Indian friends. Never been there, but I know a lot about the differences between India and the Philippines. And I would say if there's one difference between India and Philippines, I would say that Indians are more technical in general, but Filipinos have better soft skills and much, much better English. So when it comes to outsourcing, there's really two big players in Asia, India and the Philippines. And India really had first mover advantage. If you remember back in the early 90s, you started getting calls and telemarketed by Indians, oftentimes during dinner, asking you to buy a particular product or service. And there was really sort of a backlash to all of that. A big reason why is because the Indian accent is simply very hard to understand for non-Indians. The Filipinos have a more legible accent, it's more neutral, it's more easy on the ears, and it's easier to understand. I have staff that have no accent at all. In fact, a lot of people don't realize that the Philippines is the third largest English-speaking country in the world behind the UK and the USA. So the Philippines was a colony of the United States for over 50 years, and it really imbued the culture and the people with great English, and they're very Westernized. That's another big reason. I think that the Filipinos are much more Westernized than Indians. Filipinos love basketball. When they watch movies, it's Hollywood movies, not Bollywood movies. They know all of our little sayings and maxims. They know all of our slang terms. So it's really not just about the English, it's about a better cultural fit for your business, which means they're going to be able to plug in to your company. You're not going to have those language barriers or cultural barriers. Another reason why Philippines, I think, is winning in the battle of outsourcing and offshoring is the work ethic of the Filipino people. Indian companies really enjoyed first mover advantage in the outsourcing industry. If you remember back in the 90s, we started getting telemarketed in America by Indian companies. And Indian companies are really the first to go to market with offshore services. And this happened around 25 years ago. To this day, India remains the dominant player in IT outsourcing. There's millions of Indians that are incredible programmers that are working for some of the largest companies in the world, like Infosys, the Tata Group, Google. There's no doubt that Indians are definitely some of the most brilliant, incredible programmers in the entire world. But if you're looking for soft skills, you cannot beat Filipinos. Filipinos have a heart of gold. They call it the Pusong Pinoy, the Filipino heart. Their heart is what makes them so incredible at customer service. And they're so empathetic, and they listen and they care. Filipinos are doctors, they're nurses, they're nannies, they're caregivers, they're receptionists at hotels. I just got back from Dubai, and every single hotel in the Middle East, it seems like, has a Filipino working as a receptionist or concierge. If you want soft skills, you cannot beat Filipinos. Another big reason why the Philippines outsourcing industry is booming and surpassing India, especially when it comes to call center services and those things requiring soft skills, is the strong government support that the government here in the Philippines provides the business process outsourcing industry. So the business process outsourcing industry is really a sunrise industry in the Philippines. It's the largest employer in the Philippines, and the billions of dollars it generates towards the Philippines GDP recently just surpassed the money that they make from offshore remittances from overseas Filipino workers, or OFWs. So it's really the crown jewel of the Filipino economy, and it's rapidly growing. There's about 1.8 million Filipinos working in the business process outsourcing industry, which is just a phenomenal number, and it's generating tens of billions of dollars for the economy. Another reason why the Philippines outsourcing industry is surpassing India at this time is that the Filipinos have really developed incredible curriculum at the college and university level to prepare graduates for jobs in the highly lucrative business process outsourcing industry. So every year, the Philippines is graduating about 500,000 applicants. And many of those applicants want to work in the business process outsourcing industry. So the country has really encouraged the schools to prepare their students for these lucrative jobs that could await them in the business process outsourcing industry. We're also seeing a massive shift from India to Philippines for all that call center type of work. Now, my company isn't a call center per se. Most of the people working for me are doing non-voice tasks, but the Philippines is really the call center capital of the world. There's about 1.8 million Filipinos working in the business process outsourcing industry, and about half of those are doing customer support related tasks. A lot of them are on the phone. It's funny to see even Indian companies like the Tata Group are moving their call centers from India to the Philippines. So if the Indians are outsourcing their call centers to the Philippines, you know it's the ideal outsourcing destination for all of your customer-centric tasks. At the end of the day, it all boils down to accent. If you're on the phone with somebody that you can't understand, that is a deal breaker. Especially if you're trying to sell something and doing telemarketing. To sell anything, you have to do two things, right? You have to establish trust first, and then you have to show value. And if you're getting telemarketed by somebody who doesn't speak proper English, forget about it. So the Filipinos speak incredible English. I have Filipino employees. My life partner and business partner speaks impeccable English. She has American quality English without an accent. Those people are virtually impossible to find in India. So Filipinos are better at English by and large, and you're not going to have any of those cultural barriers or breakdowns that you would have by outsourcing to India. When you go to Asia, when you go to places like India or Thailand or China, you really know you're in Asia. The signs are different. It's in a different language. The writing oftentimes is vertical instead of horizontal. That's the real Asia, right? The Philippines is not that Asian. It's not as Eastern. It's highly Westernized. My friend says it best. He's a Filipino friend from my Rotary Club. Since the Philippines was colonized for 300 years by Spain and then about 6 years by American, he jokes that the Filipinos, he says, we Filipinos, we're like Mexicans that live in Asia that want to be Americans. And I think that's really funny, but there's some truth to that. The Filipinos are by far the most Westernized of all Asians, and you can really feel it when you're here. It's not like the rest of Asia. It's very different. It's really at the intersection of East and West, and it's strategically located right in the middle between North America and Asia. Another reason why people are choosing the Philippines over India is that wages are increasing much faster in India than they are in the Philippines. My Indian friends that have companies there, it's nothing for their staff to ask for 10, 20% increases, raises in salary every year. So any return on investment is going to be much diminished quickly and much more quickly in India than it would be in the Philippines. I would say another advantage Filipinos have over Indians is the versatility. So Indians are often just doing one thing for your company, like programming. But a lot of people need more of a generalist, somebody that can wear a lot of hats for their business, especially if they're trying to hire a virtual assistant or executive virtual assistant. You need somebody that can go from task to task and wear a lot of hats and have a very versatile skill set. I think the Philippines offers an incredibly versatile skill set. My staff can do a lot of different things, not just one thing over and over, but they can wear a lot of different hats. And that is super important if you're hiring a team of generalists doing things like virtual assistants. Another huge reason why companies are choosing the Philippines over India is better IT infrastructure. If you have an offshore call center, you better make sure you have uptime. You better make sure that thing's not going down all the time. In India, unfortunately, there's more problems with the power grid you have more brownouts, you have more downtime. Unless you're located in a major city like Mumbai, all bets are off. So if you're really looking for something to be done with military grade precision where you can't have downtime or very little, you need to choose the Philippines. It simply has better IT infrastructure, better telecommunications. It's on par with what you're going to see in America or Europe. I hope that helps. If you like this video and want more, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're going to be putting out many more of these videos, and I want to pass on this information and help people build incredible offshore growth teams in the Philippines to fuel their business. Thank you.